You're the casino's secret luck auditor, the one who decides in the dark who wins and who's destroyed. This is you. A windowless room above the gaming floor. A wall of 200 screens glowing in the dark. The recycled air thick with the smell of cold coffee and other people's desperation. Down on the floor, 1,000 strangers are praying to a god of chance. They don't know the god has an office and a chair and a tired man in it watching every card, every spin, every bead of sweat. They think the house always wins by luck. You're the one who makes sure luck never gets a vote. Welcome to the eye in the ceiling, where probability is a story the casino tells, and you're the one who writes the ending. Rewind. You were a math kid who never made it. Washed out of the doctorate, too broke for the dream, too smart for an honest job that would have you. The casino hired you for surveillance because you could see patterns, card counters, cheats, dealers skimming chips. You were good at it, scary good, the guy who could spot a hustle from a twitch on a screen. And somewhere in those first months, you understood the real machine you were inside. The casino doesn't sell gambling. It sells the feeling that you might beat the math, while quietly guaranteeing you can't. You weren't hired to keep the games fair. You were hired to keep the math winning. Rule 1. In a casino, chance is a marketing department, not a reality. Rule 2. Every person on that floor, the whale, the addict, the cheat, the lucky grandmother, is a variable, and variables can be managed. Rule 3. The one that lights up the whole dark room. The house doesn't beat you with luck. It beats you with a man upstairs who never gambles. Stage 1. First thing you learn, you don't just watch, you nudge. A high roller's on a hot streak that's spooking the pit? You don't cheat him, you don't have to. You signal the floor to switch his dealer, comp him a drink, move him to a colder table, change the rhythm just enough to cool the streak that the math was always going to kill anyway. You're not breaking the game, you're just making sure variance never gets time to embarrass the house. And you realize the casino's whole genius in one cold flash. The math guarantees the win, but only if nobody quits while they're ahead. So your real job is making sure they never ever leave on a high. The lesson racks up like chips. The house doesn't fear losing a hand. It fears a man walking out before the math catches him. Stage 2. Watching is small. You want to predict, so you start building files on the players, not the cheats, the regulars. You learn their patterns better than they know themselves. When they tilt, when they chase, exactly what comp turns a man who is about to leave into a man who'll lose his car. You turn surveillance into a science of human collapse. And you hand the floor a playbook for each big loser, custom built. You're not the eye in the ceiling anymore. You're the casino's behavioral engineer, and the game you're really running is the player. The lesson settles cold. You don't have to rig the table when you've learned to read the man. Stage 3. A pit boss gets jealous or scared. Your files make him nervous, your access makes him feel watched, and he starts whispering to the owners that the luck auditor knows too much, sees too much, should maybe be cut down to size. A threat. You don't fight him. You feed him a win and a leash at once. You quietly flag a real skimming operation running through his pit, one he didn't even know about. Then let him discover and bust it so he looks like a hero, while the owners quietly note that you found it first and handed it to him. He gets the credit and the warning. He never crosses you again, because now he knows you can make him a star or a suspect with the same file. And the lesson stacks neat. Control the evidence, and you control who's a hero and who's the next investigation. Stage 4. Now you stop protecting the house's money and start selling the house's certainty. Because you've realized the most valuable thing in the building isn't the cash on the floor. It's the knowledge of exactly who's about to lose everything and who's about to win big. So you go private. You sell tips, quietly, to the right people. A loan shark wants to know which whale is 3 bad nights from desperate and ripe to borrow. You've got the file. A blackmailer wants to know which respectable man is secretly bleeding out at the high-limit tables. You saw it all on screen. You become the broker of other people's ruin, the man who sells the future to predators, because you're the only one who can see it coming. And you carve the rule into the dark. The house's real product was never the games. It was knowing who's about to break. Stage 5. You climb past the floor into the count room and the boardroom. Because the casino itself is dirty, money comes in clean and goes out cleaner, and somebody upstairs is using the games to wash it. You see it in the patterns no honest gambler would ever make. The man who buys in huge, plays badly on purpose, and cashes out winnings that are really someone else's crime, turns spotless. And instead of reporting it, you learn it, you map it, you make yourself the one man who understands the whole laundry from the chip to the wire. Now you don't just hold the secrets of the gamblers. You hold the secret of the owners, the thing that would put the men at the top in prison. And the lesson lands like a jackpot nobody hears. The safest seat in a crooked house is the one that's memorized where all the dirty money sleeps. Stage 6. There's a weakness. You're one man at one casino, and casinos have a way of making inconvenient employees disappear into the desert. So you spread. You get your people into the surveillance rooms of the rival houses up and down the strip, you network the files, you build a single quiet web that watches every whale and washes the whole town's worst secrets. No matter which casino a powerful man loses his soul in, the eye that sees it answers, in the end, to you. You've turned the whole gambling city into one big rigged table, and you're the only one who can see all the cards. And the rule goes in like a dealer's cut. Don't own one eye in the sky, own all of them, so the whole city plays under your gaze. And one night, you sit alone in the dark room, 200 screens painting your face blue, the whole city of chance spread out beneath you, and you understand you've made it. This is the peak. There is not a fortune won or lost, a marriage wrecked at a table, a crime washed through a chip. That happens in this town, without your eye on it, and your hand near the switch. The owners who could bury you in the desert now need you alive, because you're the only man who knows where their money's been. You came up a washed-out math kid the world had no use for, and you turned the humble job of watching screens into ownership of every secret in a city built on lies. You learned what every gambler dies not knowing. The house never beat them with luck. It beat them with a man who understood that luck was the lie all along. Here's where it tilts, and it tilts from you. Because a man who's controlled chance for so long starts to believe chance can't touch him. And that's the exact gambler who bets the house. You get arrogant. You stop watching your own screens with the old hunger. Stop covering your own patterns. Stop assuming someone could be building a file on you the way you built files on everyone else. You keep a master record. Every washed dollar, every ruined whale, every secret of every owner, because you've stopped seeing it as a death warrant and started seeing it as the proof of your genius. You spent your whole life knowing the house always wins because it never gambles. And then you made the one bet you swore you never would, that you were the only one watching. The man who runs the eye always forgets that the ceiling has more than one. The fall comes from the protege, the sharp young analyst you trained because she saw patterns the way you used to, the one you handed your methods to like a proud old man. She learned the files, the nudges, the laundry, all of it. What she learned best was your own first lesson, that the house fears the man who walks out ahead, and that the smartest play is to cash in your chips while you're still up. She built a file on you, and she's taken it to the owners with a simple pitch. The luck auditor knows too much, but I know everything he knows, and I'm cheaper and I don't have an ego. She doesn't have to expose you. She just has to make you the variable that needs managing. Every analyst you teach to read the table eventually counts the cards in your hand. So now it's tonight. The climax. You're alone in the dark room on a shift you didn't schedule, and the screens start cutting out one by one, your access dying section by section, and you realize the eye you've watched the whole city through is being closed from the outside. Your phone lights up. It's her. calm, the way you taught her. She has the master record. She's already made copies. Of course she has. You taught her that too. And she lays out the only 2 bets left on a table you thought you owned. 2 choices, and the math doesn't care which. Door 1. You fold. You hand her the files, the web, the keys to every eye in the city, and you walk out into the desert daylight a free man and a finished one, a card counter banned from his own game, knowing the whole rigged town still runs on a system you built but no longer see. You live. You just stop being the house. Door 2. You don't fold. You've got 1 card she doesn't know about. A single secret about the man at the very top. The kind of dirty money that doesn't ruin a casino, but buries an empire. The kind that comes with the body. You go all in against the girl you made and the owners who'd replace you, in the city whose every eye you taught to watch, and you find out whether the man who beat luck can survive without it. Maybe you win back the whole table. Maybe you learn that the house, in the end, always collects, even from the man who ran it. The fold, or the all-in. The quiet exit, or the last bet. The screens are going dark one by one, the room cooling around you. And somewhere in the building, a player you trained is sitting in your chair with all your cards face up. You make the call. That's a wrap for today. I'll be dropping more stories like this soon. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.